In this video, I'll be showing you how I edit the Nikon Z8 files. In Lightroom Classic, I will be using my own presets and I'll be guiding you through my white balance and color correction processes. The Nikon Z8 files are so much nicer than the Nikon Z5 or Nikon Z6 or Nikon Z6 II files. The white balance and the tint is so much nicer, and I think it might just be the way Adobe interprets the files. So let's import the photos. Okay, so here are some photos with the Nikon Z8. And I'm going to apply during import. I'm not going to apply my preset during import. Usually I just select base preset and it goes on, but I want to show you how I approach different scenarios and things, and obviously the before and after. So if I click import now, okay, so while that's importing, a quick tip: if you've got a M1 Mac, then good news, your Lightroom is already set up. But if you don't have an M1 Mac, I recommend going up to the top, Lightroom Classic, then Preferences, and you want to go Performance. And if you turn off the graphics processor, and it might sound a bit counterintuitive, but if you don't have an M1 Mac, then seriously, if you turn that off and also make sure that use Smart Previews instead of Originals for image editing is ticked, then it'll make your Lightroom be a lot faster. Just make sure when you edit all your photos, you don't have the hard drive plugged in, and you can glide through them really quickly. But just make sure that you've got the hard drive plugged back in when you export or send files off to Photoshop and things like that. Because if it doesn't actually warn you, so yeah, just let you know. Okay, so this file, I'm gonna just apply my main base preset, and I'm gonna increase the exposure. And that looks quite nice, to be honest. Maybe a bit orangey. If I go down to a robe, you can see the red. So up here, when I go down, you'll see the red value and the blue value. They're within like nearly 1% of each other, but they're a bit wrong still. You want the red and the blue to be like within 1% of each other, and then that's technically correct white balance. So it's up to you how you want to interpret the white balance. Yeah, it's a thing. It's really hard. Obviously, an orange room is still going to look orange, but yeah, it helps take the pain out of your creative process, I guess. Okay, next one. Nice picture in the bathroom. Main base preset. I personally think that's great, so I'm going to keep that. Maybe dial down the exposure a bit. Yeah, that's fine. That's nice. Done. Image done. Okay, so the ceremony photo of the ring being put on. Main base preset. It might be a little bit blue, but if you look here, like for some reason I changed the white balance during the shoot. Most of the time I actually shoot at like 5,000 Kelvin, like all day, and then it's just easier for me to like batch process it out. But for argument's sake, if I put the cursor over the white of his cuff, 82 point, yeah, lovely. So that's technically correct. Personally, I think it's a bit blue, so I might warm it up a little bit, and then boom, happy with that. Also, you can turn things black and white if you like, but that is great. Similar photo. Boom, cool it down a little bit. That looks quite nice. Happy with that photo. Now, these Nikon Z8 files are absolutely beautiful. This is like the first wedding I did with the Nikon Z8. So I didn't really have it like set up like properly perfect, but oh my God, it's beautiful. So here you can just, you know, straighten things out. But what I'm going to do is just use my auto straighten tool. It just makes things so much easier for me. I can just go off and click it. Main base preset will make things a little more golden. As shot, I might cool it down a little bit. Increase the exposure a tad. That needs to be a bit warmer. That's beautiful. I'm pretty happy with that. Nice. Next picture. Main base. Very happy with that. Zoom in on the white, and yeah, within 1% of each other, but it's a bit of an orangey room, so I might increase it a teeny tiny bit. Perfect. Now this is quite a challenging ceremony area. Behind where groom's head is, there is a window, like really slight window, and everywhere else in this barn is like just cakes and orange lights, and it's just pitch black. So he did quite a good job at like preserving all this detail. So what I'm gonna do is main base, and then increase exposure. This is like my main like process of editing. I just increase the exposure or decrease the exposure first, and then maybe if I zoom in on this chap's calf, you can see 78 to 63. That needs to be called way down, and you can go down. Obviously, I'm not going to be trying to get within a percent of each other in a really orange setting. I know that, you know, couples choose venues because they like the lighting, or they like the natural light, or they love the staff, or whatever, and you want to preserve like how the day was. So I think that looks pretty nice. If you hit reset, obviously that's before, after. Yeah, nice, happy with that. Okay, outside here, kind of a bit more of my posy pictures, so to speak. That's a bit nice, and then it's just a bit of a cloudy day, so I might warm it up a little bit and then get rid of the cars later on in Photoshop. But yeah, pretty happy with that. That's pretty bang on, to be honest. If you click reset and then back with it, beautiful. Now, in this photo, ISO 6400 now. 6400. People might be screaming, saying, "Oh my God, James, what on earth are you doing?" Right, base preset. And I'm going to increase it by 0.8. I think that looks quite nice. It wasn't totally dark, but it wasn't light either. But I thought I'd give it a little boost. White balance is still a little bit blue for me, but there are orange lights, so it makes it harder for the skin tones. But we could do black and white, beautiful. But what we're going to do instead is we're just going to put a bit of noise reduction on, and that just basically increases the noise production down there to up there a little bit. And I'm pretty happy with that. That looks fantastic. And then if we zoom in on the file here, see, some people don't like noise, and personally I've never had I've had a couple of clients complained about little things, or maybe not really complain, but you know, just after the wedding mentioning something. And I've never had a single person complain about grain, and I shot way over 10,000 ISO. So yeah, don't worry about grain, because you are literally the only person who worries about it, and obviously other photographers as well. Okay, so main base. I hope you're seeing a little bit of a theme here with the wine. Okay, so I could increase, but it's quite dark in there. But obviously it's quite a challenging photo, because obviously the DJ light's blue on her face. So black and white, beautiful, done. That's really nice. Clean up orange background. Might have a little bash on that. No, it's hard because of the blue face. Or, I mean, personally, I'm quite happy with that. Okay, next photo. So ISO 8000. Now, am I a lunatic? I'm going to say I'm not a lunatic, because, okay, like really, are you really going to complain about noise like that because of sharpening's on 40? As I take that away, I'd literally have no problem with delivering that amount of noise. It's really, like, some people, they really get so mad about noise, but there's no reason to be mad about noise. Like, people expect it. People know that it's dark, and they'd rather you didn't flash direct flashes in their faces all day and all night and things, just because if it's dark. Obviously orange lights, I think it was quite bang on where it was. That's perfect, love that. Okay, golden hour, lovely. Use my main base again, brighten it up a little bit. That's beautiful as shot. So I must just put it up on shade as I was shooting the wedding. See, that looks quite nice. Yeah, perfect, happy with that. So as you can see, these files are very easy to work with. Okay, bang, main base. Whoa, too orange. Cool that down right away. Increase. Boom. Obviously, with a wedding, there'll be other little things I could do when editing photos, like removing certain things, but obviously for this video I'm not going to bother. Main base, boom, little bit of exposure. Now I don't see anything wrong with that photo. Now if we zoom in onto the bride's face, I mean, look at that focus. Nikon can actually focus. So that's a 5,000th of a second, 1.8, 35mm, wide open, bride's face, boom, sharp. So can't complain about that. Another photo, main base, boom. I think that's perfect. Shot on shade white balance by the look of it, yep. Next one, a little bit of a posy photo in front of their car, which is special to them, so that's perfect as well. Not sure how this picture snuck in. It's quite hard. This is going to be a good one. Okay, so challenging light, obviously. He's in shade. Bring up the shadows a little bit. I don't want to push it too much. Yep, perfect. Aha. Main base. So it makes everyone a bit more golden. There's no detail in the sky out the back because it's just cloudy, so I can increase. And it wasn't particularly orange in there, so I'm just going to cool it down a little bit. Lovely. Happy with that. Now, walking with the last glimpse of the sun. Main base. And that looks absolutely fantastic. Happy with that. Increase that to, oh, might be a bit too much. That, brilliant. What you could do is try and save the sky a little bit. Oh, I keep forgetting about Lightroom's like AI stuff. Just I don't really see the need for it, to be honest. You can have a little play and make things like even more bluer and fine adjustment things and making it all go crazy and stuff. And I mean, I think that looks perfect, so I'm gonna leave it like that. Oh, what's happening here? There you go. Right. Main base, exposure, too much, perfect, perfect. As I said before, like I like to shoot about 5,000 literally all day, and then I can just correct it in post. But that looks perfect. Like natural light coming into the barn. Okay, this is a very, very challenging room. No natural light. It looks like it's quite nice natural light. Oh, I forgot to say, there's no banding in the Nikon Z8 files. So, obviously, when you take a picture and the shutter speed and the frequency of the LED lights and stuff, you can get like banding, horrible lines across photos. Now, this photo was shot at 1/110th of a second, and typically cameras don't really shoot at 110th of a second. But the Nikon Z8 did, and I just literally put it in aperture priority, shoot all day, and there was no banding. And the Nikon Z6 too in this room, it was unusable. The banding wouldn't stop unless I went beneath like 1/20th of a second, which is just like mad. But pleased to say the Nikon Z8 I got at the right time. So obviously that's the 5,000 Kelvin I normally shoot at. Cool that down, and that is beautiful. And the white balance you can see is within a percentage of each other, but it's up to personal tastes. In this situation it looks nice enough. So photos of a makeup artist, it's always good to get photos of like makeup artists and other suppliers you work with, because of you never know if they're going to ask you some, or it's already nice to just say, hey, it was great working with you, here's a nice photo of yourself, and then you can get tagged on social media. Not that anyone really books anyone from social media, like as in like, oh hey, I saw a photo you took and a makeup artist shared it. Like, it's just content. People consume so much content a day, they forget who sees what. So okay, and then cool that down a little bit. Perfect. Okay, a menu. This is subjective because of, you know, some people might want it really warm with their style, so to speak. And then some people that look cool, or have it a little bit of a middle ground. That's just perfect as it is. Boost it up a little bit. Done. Okay, bride having her makeup applied. Okay, main base preset. Looks pretty dark. Increase it. And maybe cool it down a little bit. And that's perfect. So there's window light coming through here, and there are spotlights above. They're not particularly like really orange. This venue used to have really orange lights, and they used to flicker so bad, but they've really upped their game in their getting ready room. It's actually really, really nice. Another showcase of the room. Great little bride reveal here. Increase the exposure ever so slightly, just because of shadows. And if I go off that door, 84 to 79, I can cool it down a little bit to get the technically correct white balance. Actually, I think it might be going a bit too much, because obviously it is an orange room, and we want to preserve the authenticity of how warm and homely it feels without destroying skin tones and things like that. So that's all good. Okay, main base. Perfect. I can't fault that. Lovely. Spencer Wood, the best magician in the land. Bit of exposure up. Cool it down a little bit. It was actually quite nice there, actually. Yeah, I'm going to leave that there. That's quite nice. And also, like, I've got like you can orange skin fix and red skin fix and things like that, but the main base is basically the goat. Okay, main base, boom. Up a little bit. I love how like everyone's mouths are just wide open in disbelief at how great Spencer is. Lovely. That's really nice. This is England, by the way. Look how lovely and golden it looks. Before, after. Fantastic. Boom. Done. Oh, what's happened here? Boom. Done. So that's me bigging up Nick on earlier. Obviously, there was no way I was going to focus on this. I mean, I was at 2.5 aperture, so it was why not? Lovely. Classy door at Winter's Barns. Okay, so now they've got a bit of light coming through the trees, and it's like diffused nicely. So really, really nice. White balance is basically perfect there. Technically, obviously, if you wanted to warm it up, you can. I personally think it looks great like that. So a lot of it's subjective. Okay, main base, boom. Like that, or you can click gold now. It just kind of crushes everything a bit more. Okay, that is perfect. So with golden hour, we were like, hey, we'll go and get some nice bridal pictures because the light's really nice. And as we were walking out of the yard, I saw the sun like peek over like the roof of the building. I was like, hey girls, can you just like look around at me quickly? And then they look around, and then they just kind of compose themselves nicely. I'm like, oh, okay, brilliant, boom. The same day. Oh, that's very red. Cool that down a bit. The same day, we went outside onto a dual carriageway flyover, because why not? Flyover or bridge, I don't know what. I'm in a American mode right now. I think that looks beautiful. So if you want the, I think that looks beautiful. Done. It's quite classic look. Powerful look, actually. The robe was like, there was no cars in it, by the way. It was pretty dead. Cool that down a little bit more, and done. Obviously, if you're doing a shoot and you can, it's the same lighting scenarios, you can just click sync across or go down to previous. Okay, next photo. Main base. Okay, so cigars. It's really cigars. Like, I love taking photos of people smoking cigars and things, but it always makes people's skin like really red, but then it is red or orange, so to speak. That is what's happening, so it's okay to deliver something like that. And we always get hung up on like skin tones and things, but I don't know, I'd probably deliver it about there. Yeah, technically, so if you can see 89.8 up here on the histogram, you can see white balance is technically perfect. Now if I warm it up, he's going to look really, really orange, so that looks quite nice. Okay, ISO 2000, 50mm 1.2. Now the 50mm 1.2 by Nikon is superb, and I'm not going to fault that. And noise, I don't care about noise. I will be ranking that exposure up, probably not that much. Obviously really orange lights as well. Maybe cool it down a little bit. Now that looks quite nice. Obviously it's orange, so you don't really want to cool it down that much. Otherwise you'll take away the authenticity of the day. Okay, obviously it's the worst. It's quite bad lighting here. Mixed colors, boost up, boom. I think that's beautiful. ISO 2000. I mean, noise is nice. Noise is nice. But main base preset, this is what I would do. Increase exposure. Maybe call it, that is what the lighting was like. Obviously you can mute things more and stuff. I mean, that's what it was. It looks better to me, so it's always up to you. So here, with the awesome 50mm 1.2S, I've decided dragging couples outside for like a final goodbye before I leave, and it flares really, really nicely if you position it like pointed up towards a light source. So this is just a floodlight outside, main base, and that looks pretty nice. Obviously you can cool it down, but that is perfect. Obviously there is a pretend beehive. I think it's pretend because if I accidentally walked into it earlier in the day, but and they wouldn't put it directly outside where the bride gets ready. So but then like black and white, that looks just so nice. But lately I've tried not to deliver as many black and white photos, just because of a couple of people have mentioned it at the time of booking, like, can you not give us black and white photos? And I know the whole saying is like, if it's shite, black and white, because the people don't really realise how much, you know, photographers struggle with lighting. Light source is really on skin and things like that, but it is what it is. Okay, here, lovely. So in this room, I actually went and turned all the lights off, and it worked really well. Sometimes when you go into venues and you turn the lights off, people will complain or they'll just turn back on. But in here, it was nice, natural light. Main base, boom. Exposure increase, and perfect. This is like the best confetti thing I've ever done. Because before the wedding, they were like, oh, we don't really know where we should do confetti because it's a bit, you know, hilly, or there's steps and stuff. And no one looks cool walking down steps. So I suggested, oh yeah, we'll just get everyone round you and throw them up in the air. And then, you know, a week later or two later passed and the wedding happened. And I was like, oh yeah, we're doing this, exciting. So then I blasted like 20 raw photos a second off for this, and it was worth it. And let's see if the Nikon Z8 focused. Wow. I think it did. That's great. Okay, classic. I've been getting a lot of love for my bridal photos, bridal party photos recently, so I've been like really putting a bit of effort into them. Not effort, so to speak, as in like orchestrating them. Just letting like bridal parties know that I've got their back and they're gonna look awesome. This is fantastic. That's fantastic. Yeah, can't fault that. Perfect. Actually, looking back, it might be a little bit too contrasty. That's better. Okay, here, I've been given couples Polaroids on the day. Wi-Fi from my camera to my phone, and then print them out. And it's been going really well, actually. So that, yeah, I just get the occasional photo of couples looking at their Polaroids, and quite often they get like tears and things, which is quite nice. Not that I want everyone to cry on their wedding day. We'll increase, and on the shirt 75.6 to 74.6, so that's within 1% of it. The white balance, I think it looks a bit better, a little bit cooler. I've got to say it, like, these files are so much nicer than the Nikon Z6 II files. There'd always be like crazy tints and things, and how like Adobe Lightroom like interprets them, and it boggles my mind. Okay, so these two here. So when I was shooting with the 85mm, I used to like cropping quite heavily, and now I shoot with the 50. It kind of like, I don't know, like I try and get it a lot better in camera now, so I think that looks beautiful. Obviously orange room, but skin tones are nice, so that's what matters. ISO 5000. Right. Whack that up. Boom. So this venue actually has no sources of light outside, and it was pitch black. But I luckily had this video light in my car. And then I don't know about noise. Bit of noise reduction, and you can see it go away. That's fine. No one's ever going to complain about that. Beautiful picture. Quite a tough environment where the sun suddenly starts coming through, and you're like, ah, no, we should have shut the curtains. Main base. See, I don't really want to increase it that much because of how nice it looked. Maybe decrease the whites a little bit. Perfect. Nice end of confetti throw. Main base, increase. Adjust the white balance a little bit. Perfect. Details. Always important to capture details. Perfect. Oh yes. What a guitarist and singer. He was awesome. So this is really, really harsh light. And you can see up the top here, 1/26,000 of a second at 1.8 on the 35mm. And yeah, I think the camera's done its job there. It looks quite nice. Obviously, before, after, beers to frame it nicely, kind of a bit street photography-ish. Obviously, I think personally there's a time and place for street photography, and I think it's on the street and not at weddings. But so many people have different opinions, which is fine. Just don't expect me to stand in one spot at a wedding for like 10 minutes in order to get the perfect photo. Will not be happening. Perfect. Orange room. Guitarist from earlier having a little sing along with Oasis. Okay, increase exposure, decrease white balance, and happy with that. It is an orange room. I'll reset that. That's the original RAW, and that's the edited version. Okay, this was class. Walking out, seeing if there's any rain. I think we'll just decrease the white balance for the skin tones, and that is perfect. Okay, really challenging room. ISO 1000, not very high for me. Black and white, done. If the lighting's shy, black and white. But I'm going to main base it. And then I'm going to go all the way down here. Go over the bride's dress. It's way too blue. Increase. And that's quite nice. Obviously, if you make everything really, 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 really blue, and that's not what it looked like. Like, it was, argument's sake, bright orange and yellow. So that just makes it look nice. So I'm happy with that. Same situation. We had to do confetti inside because this venue was in the middle of a town centre and they did not allow us to do any sort of confetti outside. That's just a really quick edit and that looks quite nice. Boom, Canterbury, increase exposure. See, like, I can't like it that warm, but the skin's a little bit orange for me, so I'm just going to click my orange skin fix, and that looks quite nice. Flowers. Now, this is a shot like I always get when I'm just having a conversation with whoever's holding the flowers. Boom, exposure, done. By the way, when I'm doing the exposure, I'm using the plus and minus keys, so much faster. Family photo in an alley. Why not? Before, wait, before, after. Perfect. I think that's beautiful. ISO 3200, main base, increase, and I think that's really nice. Let's have a little look at the noise, shall we? Obviously, my sharpening's at 40, so I can decrease that, and it's not that bad. But if I tap noise reduction, it just changes it from the luminescence from 20 to 30. And no one's ever going to complain about noise. I am pretty sure. If they do, then they're a shitty client. Okay, another one, ISO 1000, main base. Boom, boom. And then I can just go to noise reduction if I want, or I can just go to nighttime mode. It just kind of makes things feel a bit more nightimey. But yeah, thank you very much for watching my video. I will be doing some more videos about Lightroom and the Nikon Z8 in the near future.